Oil Express. You can either exchange your tank or have their staff refill your tank for you. And now that you know your grill tank is ready for cooking, have you checked your camper tanks? I didn't think so. Olson Oil, Card Express, West Lincoln, Fergus Falls.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Good Monday morning. It is 11 after 9. Hoping everybody's having an excellent start to your day. As soon as I can turn down this music. There we go. How's it going, Mary?
Well, good. Until I was at the gym this morning and on my way out, somebody said, oh, boy, 6 to 12 inches of snow. And I'm like, what?
The snowpocalypse.
I know. I did not know that. I had not looked at the weather for a bit. And right away I thought, oh, he's listened to one of those the sky is falling reports.
No, it's going to snow.
There is the potential, right?
I haven't heard 12 inches, but
No,
yeah, we're going to get some snow.
It's all over the map, yeah, for sure. And it's going to be that heavy, wet stuff.
And I'd like to remind everybody, last time we were told we're going to get all that snow, it missed us.
I know.
Came down as rain.
So here we are, crossing our fingers. I would love a couple of days of rain would be really nice. You know, that slow, steady stuff that does some good to the earth. That would be great.
I was on one of the Facebook groups I'm part of is Battle Lake Happenings.
Me too. I love that one.
And they had a photo of West Battle Lake. And if it was decent weather, we were going to head out to the lake and kind of give the cabin a once over and see how everything turned out for the winter. But they showed a big portion of the south side open, and I was like eyeballing the far corner there, and I'm like going, it should be open in front of our cabin.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with somebody yesterday saying, I think it's going to be early ice out. And then all of a sudden I hear this report this morning and I think, well, it still could be early ice out because it's going to be warm enough so that.
All I know is from now until the end of the month, or not end of the month, mid-month, till ice out, nothing but southerly winds.
Okay, well.
Blow that snow to the north side.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's exactly what we don't want. But
Barry and I always have a tug of war.
We do. We have a tug of war on the wind and our lakes. But we aerate during the winter.
Yeah.
So our shore is always open. And that alleviates a little bit of that worry.
Yeah, but you get all that stuff moving.
Don't say it.
I worry about it.
I know. We worry about it. I tell you what. The only reason we aerate, the first 8 of the first 11 years we were at the cabin, we had to redo the shore.
Yep. And that's not cheap.
And one time the earth was pushed up over 7 feet high.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, we had to bring in big equipment to level everything out again. And it is expensive. And I know that sounds like, okay, lake people complaining about their lake shore, but it is a lot of work and it is an expense.
And there's so many different rules with the DNR.
There's nothing you can do about it. You know, I mean, if the ice is coming, the ice is coming.
I know one of the first years Jen and I started dating, there's huge damage on West Battle Lake. And we're talking well past past 8 feet, because me standing flat foot with a fist up in the air is exactly 8 feet.
Up and over.
And it was well past that.
Wow. I know. It's a scare every year for sure.
Yeah.
Based on wind, and man, we've had plenty of that lately. Well, okay, I don't know how you are feeling about this, but I think we should not, I think he should not have even said it out loud, and that is President Trump now hinting at the possibility of a third round. Now, you know what? And then he follows it up by saying, hey, it's far too early to start thinking about that.
It's far too illegal to start working about that.
Well, and he said, I'm just telling you that there are ways around that. And I thought, oh, please, hey, I'm all for President Trump doing what he's doing and, and saving us some money and that kind of thing. and hopefully making America great again and getting rid of some of the ridiculousness that was costing Americans so much money and some of the goofy stuff that we've had to endure for the last 8 or 12 years. But wow,
Yeah.
I just think um, I just don't think America would would uh, would vote for that again. But I said that last time around too. So what do I know? Remember, you and I said he was unelectable.
Well, I thought he was unelectable, but it's illegal. And the main problem is right now you've got a media and then the other side of the aisle saying that this guy's a dictator, he's crazy, he's
Right.
unhinged, and then he says something this stupid.
And it makes him sound unhinged and crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. So just don't. And this is not the time for that. You've got so many things on your plate right now. This should be the last of those.
Yeah.
So, boy, I tell you, I just wish someone could get a grip on that guy's mouth. But we all know by now that that is not that will never happen. Anyway, still legal experts insist that there is no credible argument for a third term bid, and they say, eh. He says, I'm not joking, and he loves that kind of play. But anyway,
At
he is
some
he's sig-
point, he's just got to keep his mouth shut.
yeah. Oh boy, and isn't it too bad that there isn't
A
one
mute button.
person in his a mute button for sure, or someone who could say, I would prefer that you didn't say that. Poor Caroline Levitt is all I can say. That poor girl has to answer so many questions, and I'll tell you what, she keeps handling it well because she's had some junk thrown at her,
Hey,
that's for sure.
too bad there's not like a streaming buffer. Like before he opens his mouth, it goes through a process.
Yes, yeah, like a 7-second delay or something. I don't
Will
know.
this make sense? Will this
Right,
anger a whole bunch of people, including
right.
my party?
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
this incredibly illegal and
Anyway, when
can't
I
happen?
heard that, I thought, oh my goodness, you're working on some way bigger things. Can we not even think about that at this moment? I mean, oh, anyway. And this one, I love this. Except a lot of the cars that you and I drive that are from American companies do come from overseas. Not all of them are built here in the United States. But President Trump says he couldn't care less if foreign automakers raise prices due to his tariffs. He said because maybe then people will start buying American-made
Well, the
vehicles.
problem is that not only the American or the foreign imports from American companies, but you've got all the parts. All the parts come from
I know
Canada,
it.
Mexico.
He says this currently, foreign cars outsell American cars in the United States. So this might change things for people. We see more and more of that all the time. A lot of imports around, that's for sure.
Well, plus, let's face it, even if, say, you take a car made in the U.S. with all American parts, it's just, even though basically that's not happening, they're going to bump up their prices just because they can.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those things long term, it's going to be good for this country. It's just that the pain is going to last a little too long for people.
Yeah.
And it's
Got an election in
and
4 years.
it's pretty immediate.
Yeah.
And then I worry about the midterm elections when the
Yeah.
pain is now 2 years old.
Trump doesn't realize that he got elected because of the pain that people are feeling, and so
And
people
now
are going.
now it's more painful.
Yeah, it's more painful, and people are going to go, well, the Republicans didn't do it. Let's put the Democrats back in charge.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. And again, I think long term, if you can ride it out and afford to ride it out,
Yeah,
things are going to get better. But you're not going to feel the better for. That's just my thinking. I don't know if that's true or not, but I kind of feel like we're not going to feel the better for a while.
We're not going to feel the better during this administration. I mean, for them to build new plants and everything, that's more than 4 years.
Yeah.
That's more than 4 years of just
Absolutely.
permitting, let alone planning.
Yep.
So if your administration and your source of government doesn't last that long, it's gone, and it's just an absolute waste.
Right. And what is behind this? Elon Musk's his XAI has acquired his social media platform X.
That is funny.
I know. So his own company is buying his own company.
Yep.
In a trade that a transaction worth $33 billion. The deal involves combining XAI's advanced AI with X's wide reach to enhance the user experience on the platform. So he still owns them both, but he just sold one company to another company, both under his ownership.
I'd love to see the negotiations there. He talks on
Yeah.
one side of the table and then goes to the
And
other
then go
side
sit in the other chair and say, "Well, I don't know about that." Yeah. I don't know. I clearly there is a financial piece to this, in addition to having enhanced, you know, AI. I don't know. I don't pretend to understand all that. I don't want to know how to understand all that. A small plane. Did you see this
Yeah.
terrible crash? Right into a home in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. No survivors on the plane. The one report I read this morning said they weren't even sure who was piloting the plane, but they thought it was a lone pilot in the plane. Now, whether or not that is accurate, I don't
The
know.
things I heard, it was one of the executives from U.S. Bank.
Yes, right. NTSB will investigate the crash as firefighters battled a major fire at the crash site. Thankfully, nobody in the home was injured. There was someone home and they were able to escape. So, no word on what made that plane go down, if it was a medical event or,
Imagine just sit there and all of a sudden a plane comes into your house.
oh my gosh, can you imagine? Don't you just feel like, I feel like every day we're hearing about a plane crash someplace.
Yeah.
There was another close call in Washington, just I think over the weekend, where, the altitude in which the planes were flying was a little too close. I just feel like there's been a lot of that, and I'm not exactly what is behind all of this, but makes you wonder for sure. And Mexico enacted a junk food ban in schools to combat obesity and diabetes epidemics. The ban targets salty and sweet processed products, encouraging parents to cook healthy meals and reshape the food culture. So they're doing that. And let's see what else we've got for you. Um, so Snow White is out there. I heard I heard a lot of people making fun of the Snow White movie. Evidently, it's just tanking.
I've seen there's a site out on YouTube called Screen Pitch, where it's like, okay, they pitch the movie to each other or whatever. They pretend to pitch, where they kind of go over the general overview of the movie and some of the more dumb decisions. And if that is truly the plot of the movie, I understand why it's tanking. It is bad.
Is it bad?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean they totally changed the plot. They
Okay.
well not they've got the key things in there, but still, wow, they made a lot of poor decisions.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Plus, of course, you got the star coming out and making fun and talking bad about the original. Then she's making all of her Palestine
Yeah.
things, and then telling everybody if you don't like this movie, you're racist and stupid.
Yeah.
It got to
Yeah.
the point where Disney's like, please do not show up at our press junkets anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now she's suing because she said it in her contract that she's supposed to be at these press junkets.
Oh, okay.
And it's like
They
Disney's
don't want her there.
They don't want her there.
No.
So
'Cause she'll say something stupid.
Yep.
Okay, and we can't go to the bottom of the hour without out talking about March Madness. Unbelievable. 4 number 1 seeds make it to the Final Four.
I've got to just pick those.
Who saw that coming?
In the pool that I'm in, I'm 90 something. Jen is 6th.
Oh my goodness. So she picked the higher seeds.
Yep. And then I picked, I had some upsets, and I'm like, I went out on a limb this year, and I learned that if you're out on a limb, you're just going to cut yourself off and fall.
Right. You know what? There were fewer of those big upsets this year than it feels like for many years. And anyway, so the Final Four is set on the men's side of things.
Yep.
The women will find out who the Final Four will become tonight, I think.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
yep.
UConn is still in there. Trying to remember who
On
else
the women's side.
On the women's side, yep. South Carolina. Wasn't it those are the two that are, I wonder if USC maybe is in there.
I
don't know. I'm talking off the top of my head. I'm trying to remember what I read this morning, but
The men, if I remember right, it is Duke, Florida, Auburn, and one of the other ones.
yeah, those are the 3 I remember too. Yeah.
Whoever the other number 1 seed was.
Yeah, we're missing somebody. Huh.
I mean, I
Okay.
can easily look it up, but
Well, anyway,
I'm not
it's
worried
not
about
that
it.
big a deal. But anyway, so a lot of basketball over the weekend and a little more basketball coming up this next weekend. And then, of course, we'll have the championship like a week from today, right?
I do believe so, yeah.
On the men's side of
Yep.
things. Yeah. So anyway, you'll then after that, sorry, you're gonna have to go back to work. And
We got baseball.
I've heard of so many people talking about their brackets this weekend and all these different kinds of brackets, how games end up and numbers and who won this week and who is going to win, who's in the number one spot and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I feel like I got enough without worrying about numbers on a board, or not on a board, but in a bracket, and but I know it's a lot of fun and people have fun with these brackets. So, but if you pick the big guns, well, you're still in it probably.
Yeah, they said, I want to say it's the first time since 2008 that all 4 number ones were the Final Four.
I know it's been a long time. Yeah. So, pretty interesting. We always say you never know come tournament time. And since it is tournament time and it's March Madness, that's what we have to blame for
Snow.
impending weather. So anyway, I hope, cross your fingers, people, that it just goes somewhere else or just comes in rain.
That'd be nice.
Can I request that? I'm going to start my rain dance. I don't know if that'll work or not. Anyway, when we come back, these are the TV homes that Americans wish they could live in. We'll tell you about those when we come back on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
What's the ox say?
Today on Hot Talk with the Ox. Right away, hear how it went on the Hot Talk with the Ox listener tour of the Arizona-Mexico border last week. Then hear what's on the docket at the state legislature this week. Hear the news from the weekend and what's unfolding at the moment. But right away at 2:06, test your recall of last week's shows on Heard It on Hot Talk for bragging rights. See you for Hot Talk with the Ox today from 2 to 5 on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
What's the ox say?
Keeping you company out on the lakes. The Minnesota Twins and News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
Hey, it's Chris Atterbury. After leaving St. Louis, Twins hoping for better fortunes in the windy city of Chicago. Chris Paddock hits the ball today opposite Martin Perez as the Twins in search of their first win of the year. 12:30 lineup card, 1:10 first pitch. Join me and Danny right here on your home for Twins baseball.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband. He lost weight. More important, cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend went, and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me. Makes me cry.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. That's right. Weight loss seminar Tuesday, April 1st at the American Lodge and Suites Fergus Falls Conference Center at 5:30. Registration begins at 5. Stop smoking seminar at 8. Registration at 7:30. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Get less weeds and more sugar with Spin-Aid herbicide, now available to Minnesota and North Dakota sugar beet growers for improved control of kochia, common lamb's quarters, and common ragweed. Looking for systemic effective disease control? Add Minerva to your spray program and knock out Cercospora leaf spot. Ask your local retailer about the Spin-Aid $100 a gallon grower rebate or visit belgiumusa.com. Always read and follow label instructions.
Find out why the markets are moving. Get in-depth ag information with the Red River Farm Network on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
opening our market update on the Red River Farm Network. I'm Randy Conan. Crop report day. We get the planted intentions reports as well as quarterly grain stocks at 11 o'clock here this morning. Grains trading both sides ahead of that report. Right now, corn's down a couple, soybeans up 4, wheat 1 to 4 higher. Lowen and Associates analyst Matt Hines, traders doing their final positioning ahead of today's planting intentions and quarterly stocks report.
It's definitely a choppy day, kind of following suit from Friday. You know, beans ended up a little bit higher. Corn was higher on Friday, but we're down a couple here this morning, and wheat's just kind of hanging around steady, trading both sides of unchanged. But you hit it on the head, waiting for the 11 a.m. Central reports from USDA, quarterly stocks and prospective plantings. Of course, most looking for, you know, somewhere between 4 and 5 million more corn acres than a year ago, and probably in that neighborhood of 3 to 4 million less bean acres. At least that's the average trade estimates, and any numbers different than that will, of course, move the markets.
Seeing a softer tone across the livestock trade.
You know, we had steady to higher cash trade last week. It just wasn't sharply higher like we've seen the past couple weeks. And it was some pretty light volume actually heading into the close on Friday. Here, Texas, Kansas, we're looking at 209 live, trading in the north 213, and dress trade a wide range from 330 up to 345. Should see a weighted average around 335.
Cash cattle trade quiet here this morning so far. Bids and asking prices not yet established. Cutouts expected to be lower on light to moderate box movement. You're listening to the Red River Farm Network.
This is Don Wick on behalf of the North Dakota Gelbvieh Association. David Larson of Lost River Livestock tells us this Gelbvieh breed is known for moderate cow size.
So to keep that mature cow size in check, to keep your feed costs and your feed intake in a reasonable range while still bringing in a calf that, you know, weans off to close to 50% of that mama cow's body weight, if you can bring those calves right in weighing that 600 to 700 pounds, and that weight of calves is, I think, achievable and profitable.
It's really what that commercial guy's looking for, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Wean off 50% body weight, breed back, last 8, 9, 10 years on those cows, and have feet hold up, have udders hold up, maintain condition, breed back every year. I mean, that is, and have a good breed up rate in the fall. If that can be done every year, those are the guys that you're going to find they're going to stay in it for the long haul and are going to have real profit potential with their cow herd.
Go to ndgelbviehassociation.com. Find the genetics that'll work for you.
I'm Mark Oppold with an American Agriculture History Minute, brought to you by AgriLiquid. Maximize yield potential and improve quality this year by supplying your crop with the nutrients it needs when it needs it. Micro 500 from AgriLiquid. Once early settlers navigated the rough Appalachian Mountains, they found vast stretches of undeveloped land in what is now central and western Tennessee. The early settlers often received land grants for military service. Standard grants came in the form of 640-acre blocks. Even today, a gift of 640 acres seems generous, but must remember, then there was no house, no barns. All had to be built and land to clear. It was not an easy road. Early settlers actually used a lot of that land for hunting and gathering food for their family and livestock before thinking about growing crops. Today's American Agriculture History Minute. I'm Mark Oppold.
May wheat, Minneapolis 5 3/4 higher, 586 3/4. Chicago May wheat's up 3. Kansas City May wheat 5.5 cents higher. May corn down 2.5 at 450 3/4. December corn's down 2, 440 1/2. May soybeans 5 1/4 higher, 1028 1/2. November soybeans 5 1/4 higher, 1034 1/2. May canola $1.50 a metric ton higher. April live cattle down $1.12, 207.70. June's down $1.47. April feeder cattle down $1.77 at 285.15. May is down 227. April lean hogs are 17 cents higher at 86.87. The May hogs down 65 cents at 87.82. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 52 points. This is the Red River Farm.
I'm Jessica at the Fergus Falls Monument Company. I'm the first person you see when you come through the door, and I also talk to customers every day on the phone. Many of them find choosing a memorial ahead of time is convenient and works best when there is time to plan and think about it. Planning ahead not only gets you the everlasting memorial of your choice, it also helps your family through the grieving process. At Fergus Falls Monument, we can help you plan ahead and choose a memorial made right here locally. Call or stop in or visit us online at foreverstonememorials.com.
Whoa, wait till you hear these discounts from Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls. Save up to $15 grand on 2024 F-150 or lease for just $439 a month. Or how about savings of $9,000 on that Bronco? Just 7 remain, and you can lease for just $399 a month. 2024 Expedition Platinum has a huge discount of $13 grand too. Just 2 left. And with 0 down, lease a fully electric Mustang Mach-E for just $399 a month. Hurry to your Best Buy now at Nelson Auto Center, Fergus Falls.
Are you ready for marketing that works as hard as you do? At Leighton Engage, we're local. Real strategists, real people, right here in your community. We don't just market, we go all in. From strategy to execution, we hustle and deliver results that make an impact for your business. Tailored solutions, real results, marketing that works.
Leighton Engage. Find your focus.
You know that feeling when you're a part of something big, something that makes you rise to your feet?
Buxton, Lopez.
He struck him out. Carlos Correa.
There's nothing like Twins baseball. The vibe brings us together no matter what. It's time to show up and rise to the occasion. When we're together, the Twins rise as one. Your seat is waiting at twins.com/tickets.
You want to feel important. You want to be part of something bigger, something that matters and that can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We felt that way too. I am Sergeant First Class David Crow from Farmington, Minnesota, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Minnesota Army National Guard soldiers. We are people just like you, and together we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit nationalguard.com/MN to find out more. Sponsored by the Minnesota Army National Guard, aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone at 9:37. One of my favorite segments of the week. It's 2 Marys and a Dave.
All right, and we say good morning to Mary at the American Legion. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, guys. How are you today?
Well, good. And we are staring down oh my goodness, very last day of March. So we have to look ahead to April because you'll open on Wednesday and you'll have some new specials. You'll have those new dessert features, and of course, we'll have a Wednesday special too.
That's correct.
All right, what are we cooking for the week?
So, because of the Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, it seems like it might be a little wintry. We're going to try a chili cheese cheeseburger.
Ooh,
so
that sounds good.
Yeah, with chili and cheese and onion on top. So if you dine in, we'll assemble it all for you. But if you get it to go, then we'll keep the chili on the side so you can dump it on yourself. So
okay,
something different and something kind of fun. So
yeah, that sounds really good. And I think you're right. It looks like it could be stormy. So that feels like real good comfort food.
I think it'll work. And we'll have tater tots with that and then a treat, of course, too. So
okay,
that'll be Wednesday. And then our dessert features for the new month, we're going to have lemon meringue pie and something strawberry and something chocolate. I just don't exactly know what they are yet. So.
That's close enough.
I've got 2 days, so
yeah.
I'm good.
Something strawberry, something chocolate. I think that sounds just great. And
I think I said the wrong pie. It's sour cream and raisin pie. Pardon me. Sour cream and raisin pie.
Okay.
And then something chocolate and something strawberry.
Okay, there you go. All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to that. And of course, you're open Wednesday through Saturday, and maybe you can run down those hours for us.
Sure. Wednesday through Saturday, we have dine-in all 4 days from 3 until 8. We also have carry-out Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's from 11 to 8. And on Saturday, it's from 3 to 8. So dine in or get it to go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
Okay. That sounds great. And I like the idea of topping the burger with some chili. That sounds really good for this week. And I love when you have tater tots for a side, too, because those are a favorite of mine.
I think they're a favorite of a lot of people.
Yeah.
I really seem to like those.
I just love tater tots. There's something just, I don't know, that feels like down-home goodness. All right. Well, Mary, what's the number to call if we would like to get something ordered?
Give us a call at 739-4633.
All right. Mary, have a great week.
You as well.
Okay. Bye-bye. Mary from the American Legion, our guest and sponsor on the show. That sounds really good, doesn't it?
It does.
Top a burger with chili. It sounds very messy.
Sounds good, though.
It does sound good. Like you might have to eat it with a fork instead of just grab the burger.
Just grab the burger.
Yeah.
Dig in.
And let it pile down the front of you.
Not on the front of you. Lean forward just a little bit.
Eat it over the sink.
Eat it over the plate, and then dip the burger back in what the
Oh,
chili
that's a
dip
good
is.
idea. Or
There
you
you
could
go.
eat the burger and eat the chili on the side if you get it
No,
to
no, no,
go.
no, no, no. You can't do that. You
Okay.
got to get it in there.
Okay. Well, that sounds really good to me. Okay. 48% of Americans would trade in their current home for their favorite TV home. When you think about a TV home, what's the first thing that comes to mind? First show.
Ah.
I'm going to say Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Brady Bunch, even though that was kind of a little bit before my time, but they've got an iconic home. I really liked the one on what was that show? Drawing
I
a
know we can't think of the
blank.
names of the shows. I know. What was the Tim the Tool Time Taylor
Oh yeah, the Tool Time, that was Home Improvement.
Home Improvement?
That was a nice house.
That was a nice house.
Yep.
I can't think of too many homes what they really looked like. I mean, the one that we all recognize was the Brady Bunch. That's the first
Yeah.
one that comes to my mind. Trying to think of some other homes in some of those other. A lot of those shows, all you saw was like
The
just the living
exterior,
area, and the exterior from time to time. Full House was another one. They had kind of a cute house,
Yep.
and the I'm trying to think.
Roseanne had an okay house. Well, not a
I
great
couldn't
house.
stand Roseanne, so I did not. I never ever watched that. Yeah. What were some other ones? That's really funny. Well, here's a few. Oh, Full House is mentioned here.
Yep.
The Tanner's San Francisco home. You know which house I loved was on Mrs. Doubtfire. They had that iconic house. It was and it was beautiful inside and out. I thought that was really a cool house. Anyway, it looks like about 13% of those people, about 2,000 people polled, want to live in the Tanner's San Francisco home
That's probably
in Full House.
one of the most expensive ones. I know that neighborhood. I remember seeing years ago how much those homes are, and they're like
Right.
in the millions.
Yeah. 9% would choose Monica's Purple Apartment in Friends.
No.
No, me neither. I hated the purple. It was kind of a cute apartment, though.
It was a neat apartment, but you'd have to live in New York.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's an apartment. I'd rather have a house.
Yeah. How about this one? How about pick one that's purely animated that you could move into, like The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Their family home on Evergreen Terrace. Again, another thing I'm proud to say I've never watched.
Oh, I love The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a while, but when I was a kid.
Yeah. But I can't think of any other homes that you can, like the Brady Bunch that just pops into your head right away, because I can see that one from the outside and the inside.
Well, I keep thinking movie homes, like the one from Christmas Vacation,
Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Yeah, those.
Those are the ones that are sticking in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, so some other there have been some great movie houses. You know what, and this is super old, and so the fact that you are so much younger than me, I don't know if you've even seen the movie, but it was set in this little cabin on a lake, and I think of On Golden Pond. Now, I know that is 100 years old, it feels like,
Oh.
that movie, but so good, and I loved that cabin that they were in.
Oh, if you're going cabin, I'd go coach.
Oh, that
Like,
was a good one, too.
Log cabin up in Duluth.
Yeah, and there was another one. What's his name? I think he was a psychologist, and Bob Newhart. Was he a psychologist in one of his?
I think in the one I didn't see.
Yeah, and it was like
an innkeeper in the other one.
Yeah, and those were cool places too.
Yeah.
Mary Tyler Moore had a great apartment, if you remember that at
No.
all. That was a good one. Isn't that funny? I can see these in my head, just like I was
I
sitting in
remember
them.
seeing some of these shows at Nick at Night when I was a little kid,
Right,
but
right.
they've moved on from those shows.
Oh boy, yeah, they kind of have.
But I'd love to see the old classic ones like F Troop.
Oh, F Troop, boy, that's
McHale's
been a
Navy,
while.
stuff.
Those were good ones. those were reruns when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So they've been out there for a while. That would be fun to watch some of those. Hogan's Heroes. That was always kind of a good one to watch.
I never watched Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. So, but I think it's funny that the first one, I can't believe people didn't say Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little shocked on that. Maybe they were turned off by the AstroTurf.
Maybe they recently sold that home, and remember it was part of one of those home makeover shows. I think one time where they went in and remade the house to look exactly like it did in the show. Now I think it's been sold, and I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. So, yep, they want to live in the Tanner's San Francisco home from Full House. So, but you know what? We never really saw much of that house. We saw the
No.
living. They kind of lived in the living room.
Living room and kitchen.
Yeah. Once in a while, you'd see a kid in one of their bedrooms. But
And then in the basement, that's where Uncle Joey lived. Or
Okay.
Uncle Jesse lived.
Uncle Jesse. Okay. Oh boy, those were the days, right? Let's see. Chet Hanks paid homage to his father. His dad had an iconic Oscar-winning role in Forrest Gump, and he paid homage to him in a music video for Something Out West new single "You Better Run." The clip for the group, composed of Chet, who is 34, and Drew Arthur, features well-known imagery and significant references from the 1994 film, including Chet sitting on a bench dressed like Forrest, and a shrimp boat named Jenny, and even a cameo appearance from Tom Hanks himself. You Better Run was written by Arthur alongside Brendan Cooney and T.J. Courtney, with the track representing a cautionary tale with sense of urgency, per the press release. The group, formed following late-night jams and songwriting sessions, led them to Nashville and the official creation of their duo. So, new song will be featured on their upcoming EP, Leaving Hollywood, which is set to be released in June.
Sounds like they're just trying to ride his dad's coattails.
Kinda.
That's the vibe I get.
I think so too. In fact, I just saw something on TV this morning about Tom Hanks and his role in that movie, in Forrest Gump, and then the teaser said he went back to that bench. We'll tell you why, and then I never heard the why, so I don't know why he was back there sitting on his bench, but
Probably for that music video.
maybe. Anyway, how long has it been since you watched Forrest Gump? It was on just not very long
Yeah, I was
ago.
gonna say I think I saw bits of it. It's been a long time since I've seen the whole thing, but
Yeah.
it's on enough that you see bits of it here and there.
Okay. And let's see. Bill Murray, he expressed regret for one thing in his life, turning down a role in a Clint Eastwood film, Heartbreak Ridge. You remember that one?
He was gonna be in Heartbreak
I
Ridge.
guess he does not feel like a guy that belongs in a movie like that. But anyway, he said, it's one of the few regrets I have is that I didn't do it because it was a big scale thing, the actor said. This was in a Howard Stern interview that he did recently. He had access to World War II boats, and he could have made a flotilla, and there was some cool stuff in it, he said. But that is his one regret. He said, I don't have very many regrets, but that is one of them, that I didn't take that role in Clint Eastwood's Heartbreak Ridge.
Would have been cut because there is no flotilla.
Yeah, maybe.
That was one of my favorite movies when I was a
I've
kid.
never seen
that.
it.
I've seen that movie about 100 times.
Have you?
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood is still living, right?
Yep.
Okay. He's got to be old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready for some trivia?
Oh, always.
I haven't even read through them, so I don't know if they're hard or easy. Yeah. Oh, you probably know these. You probably know one anyway. What do male lions do for 20 hours a day?
Yes, and they sleep.
They do. How would you know that?
They're living the dream.
Okay. A group of tigers. We love this group business. A group of tigers is known as
Group of lions is a pride. A group of tigers is known as, I don't know, cornflakes.
an ambush.
An ambush of tigers.
I had never heard of that one.
Yeah.
What are some of the funny ones?
Crash of rhinos, a flamboyance of flamingos, a murder of crows.
Murder of crows. That's your favorite,
That's
right?
one of my favorite right there. You can see two crows on a branch, like, oh, it's an attempted murder.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know about you, but I was in line first day at Uncle Eddie's and I did have the salted caramel nut.
I was too busy over the weekend. I didn't get a chance to get down there.
I did. And Thursday was their opening day and it was that beautiful day. And there was a line a mile long and there wasn't a place to sit inside or out. And I just thought, that's really cool that it was such a
Well,
beautiful
you can
day.
go and get it and then hang out at the pavilion.
Sure. And
There's,
there probably were people over there too.
yeah, there's seats. I mean,
But
it's right across the
there
parking
was a
lot.
really long line when I got there, and I thought, how bad do I want this? And I decided I wanted it pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, and their line goes really fast. They've got a lot of people behind the
When
counter
when it comes
working.
to lines, I mean, I really have to want it for me to be in a line, especially food.
I really wanted it. I
I
really wanted that.
I
And if that would have been like one that they were out of or something, I would have been so disappointed. So,
I know one of the big lines that people were enjoying over the last couple Fridays is at Dairyland, where they did the OLV fish fry.
oh, that's right. I saw that over the
Yeah,
weekend.
so it was
Since
Pat and crew.
OLV got damaged by the fire, they haven't been able to have those fish fries
Yep.
there. And so, thanks to Dairyland for opening up, and you could drive through for your
Yeah.
dinner.
So it was real. They did an awesome job.
Sounds
Spent it the
great.
last 2 Fridays, and I
You
gotta
know, and we still have a while until Easter isn't until April 20th. Is that right? It's way into April. I think it's the 20th.
it could be, but
I
that's
may
only
have made that
that's
up.
only 4 or 3 Sundays from now.
I know, but I feel like we've been. I don't know. I felt like Fat Tuesday was a long time ago, and the Lenten season began. But yeah, it's late for Easter. That is for sure. But I think it is on the 20th, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what else we've got for you today. There
You are
is
right. It is the 20th.
20th. Okay. There is a drug that is used to treat genetic conditions, and it actually might help do something else. It might help control mosquitoes. They find out.
Oh,
Research, which makes you think, "Ooh, gee, do I want to take that?"
I do.
Researchers from the University of Notre Dame found that, uh, oh boy, I'm not even sure how to even begin pronouncing this. Anyway, this drug makes human blood deadly to these pests. When mosquitoes consume blood with this drug in it, they become paralyzed and die. Oh boy.
All right, now I'm worried about having that in my body.
Yeah.
I was all for it
All
until I
for it.
found out that it's like,
Yeah,
no.
exactly. Mosquitoes spread a host of diseases, such as malaria, which killed over 619,000 people back in 2021. Ivermectin is a similar drug being tested for the same use, but researchers found that this particular drug that we were talking about was more effective. Additionally, it is approved for use in newborns and children, unlike ivermectin. However, more research is needed to determine the proper dose and measure its real world impact against malaria. And
Wasn't
remember ivermectin when that first
COVID,
came?
wasn't it?
Yeah, for COVID. And people were saying, oh my goodness, that's for horses. Vets use that. You can't, blah, blah, blah. And now it seems like it's okay.
Yeah, because
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, we were talking a little bit about Snow White, and there's a movie out there that's a thriller. It's called A Working Man, starring Jason Statham. Uh, Actually surpassed Snow White at the box office with a robust domestic opening of 15.2 million. Snow White faced a significant 66% decline
oh yeah,
in its second week. It just tanked. So sorry about that. And the star Helen Mirren.
Yep.
And I'm surprised, and I suppose there have been lots of people who have said this, women specifically, but that we haven't heard more about this. And that is women, this one, Helen Mirren, talking about James Bond movies being so sexist.
they
You know,
are.
well, of course they are. But isn't it amazing that we haven't heard more complaints about that over the years?
Isn't
It
it
seems
amazing
like
she
he
wasn't
got,
a Bond girl in the 60s?
yeah, it kind of seems like he sort of gets a pass in that regard. Anyway, Helen Mirren said she's never been a fan. The whole series of James Bond, she said, wasn't my thing. I never liked James Bond. I never liked the way the women were in James Bond. The whole concept of James Bond is drenched and born out of profound sexism. Mirren advocated for a more historically accurate representation of women in the espionage films. Women have always been a major and incredibly important part of the Secret Service. They always have been, and very brave. If you hear about what women did in the French Resistance, they're amazingly, unbelievably courageous. So I would tell real stories about extraordinary women who have worked in that world. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with her. Why not? A lot of women doing espionage during, if you look over the last, wars and European wars especially, they did a lot of that kind of stuff.
Who was that French chef that? We don't have time. Yeah, there was one. She made like cooking in France. Big time chef in like the 70s, 80s.
Julia
Childs. Yep, she was one of the first forerunners of the OSS.
She was. How about that? Okay.
OSS became the CIA.
Okay, got to wrap it up. Thanks for joining us. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company. Have a great Monday.